If you're an MBA student from any B school in the world, let me tell you one thing, that personal branding is very important for you. And in this video, my objective is to tell you about that what basically personal branding stands for a student and an MBA student, and two, that why is personal branding important for various kinds of MBA students. So this video is important if you're anybody who's thinking about how to maximize your outcomes from MBA, because personal branding could be the answer for that. I will also share what is my story and how personal branding helped me from going from a stage where I used to stammer in my B school interviews to a point where I had 3 job offers even when my placements had not started. So watch the video up till the end. Hi, I'm Darpan Saxena, an MBA graduate from IIM Udaipur, and let's get on with the video. Now I know that MBA students in India are of different kinds, and when I'm saying different kinds, I'm simply saying that as per which B school you are in, the kind of outcomes which you will have from your MBA will significantly change. And hence, in this video of mine, I will be speaking to you about that. Whichever kind of MBA student you are, whichever kind of B school you are in, why personal branding is very important for you. So allow me to quickly start by explaining that what exactly is personal branding first of all, so that you simply understand it in the most simplest way. And if you're really excited to know about this, then do not forget to hit the like and subscribe to the channel so that you can keep on watching more such videos from me. So the first thing is that what exactly does personal branding mean and what is it for an MBA student? Now simply put, personal branding, if suppose this is you, if this guy is you, then personal branding simply means that what is your perception among the audience, what is your perception for the knowledge which you have and the skills which you have, and also the perception of the thoughts which you have, which means that your personal brand, it effectively becomes a shorthand for who you are. So for everyone, for the entire world, it might not be very easy for them to know who you are, but if you've built a personal brand for yourself, if you have created the essential brand elements for you, then from those elements they can simply understand that okay, what are the kind of knowledge, the skills and the thoughts which this student or this professional possesses. That is the basic idea, that it is a representation of these 3 things. It is a representation of anyone who's probably seeing you for the first time and who probably just knows about your brand. So which simply means that if your personal brand is very strong, then probably your audience or everyone around you already knows you and already has an understanding of what do you stand for. So personal brand is about what do you stand for. Now, how can you do this? I used a word called personal branding elements, and you need to understand this very simply, that how do you really build a personal brand for yourself as a MBA student? Now, simply put, personal branding is an expression of these 3 things of yours. And the way you express anything is by communicating it. Now, if you see it in the online world, obviously, the ways in which you can communicate and share your ideas with the world are probably the following. For example, you can probably build a blog for yourself. So a blog and the articles which you create are a very good way to establish yourself as an authority in that field. Or probably you could have a LinkedIn where you post all your ideas and all of these things. Also, you could have a YouTube channel. You could do the same things on Instagram. and where not. So all of these things, all the other social media channels like Instagram, like Twitter, all of these things are your elements. So whatever content you share over here, it reinforces the brand which you have. So for example, I always share a lot of content about how you should do your MBA very well and how you can create some great outcomes from your MBA, and hence people will identify me, or they do identify me, as somebody who has these unique ideas about how to do well in your MBA. That is what my brand stands for. In the same way, when you have finalized that, okay, what kind of a job or what kind of a industry you want to be in, then the kind of content which you will create should signify that what is the knowledge, skills and the thoughts which you have for those industries. And with each new content piece which you create, all of these things will get reinforced. Now the next question which you'll have in your head is that, why is personal branding even important for me? And I said that I will explain that to you for each kind of MBA student which there is. Now when I say each kind of MBA student, what exactly am I trying to say over here? This is what I'm trying to say, that there are broadly three kinds of MBA students. One are the students from the old IIMs and the top tier B schools. Top tier B schools. So here, yes, it includes all of the old IIMs. It includes IIM ABC, LKI, whatever it is. It includes your XLRIs of the world, FMS of the world, and SP Jains, and a lot of others as well. So I'll not have all of them over here. Then the second kind of B schools are basically the second and third generation IIMs and the tier 2, 3 kind of B schools, which have, the ones, say for example, IIM Udaipur, IIM Trichy, IIM Ranchi, Rohtak, IIM Kashipur, and all of those, and say for example SIBM, MDI, IIFT, all of these colleges. And the third kind of schools is the rest, that everyone else, every other B school apart from the ones which I have spoken about. So while I have not exactly specified all the schools which are there from inside, however, with these few examples which I have shared, I am sure that you will be able to find it for for yourself, that which of these three categories are you from, and that is what you need to know for a start. Now for these three kind of students, allow me to explain that why is personal branding even important. And I'll start off with the first kind, the first tier. The first one over here is that the old IIMs, the student from the old IIMs, that why exactly is personal branding important for these students at all? A very simple thing to understand here is that the students of an old IIM or some of these tier 1 schools, if you are a student from there, then you need to understand that you will find the kind of job which you are interested in for sure. You'll find the kind of life outcomes which you always aspire to have for sure. You'll find all of those things. Now the next thing which you probably want is that how to maximize your potential. So for a student like you, for the first kind, I think personal branding is about maximizing your outcomes, maximizing your potential. Further, it is also about that whatever gyan and skills you have accumulated, how can you give it back to the society, and how also you can earn it back probably. And when I'm saying earn it back, I am saying in terms of brand recognition and also in terms of monetary gains. Because if you can create a good strong personal brand for yourself, you will see that there will be a lot of people who will follow you, who would want to seek your advice, and then you can create a lot of products around it as well. You would have seen a lot of a lot of influencers from the YouTube and everywhere else who are from some of the best B schools of India, and that is how it has helped them, that they already have a very strong brand from their B schools, and therefore for somebody who's from these kind of schools, it is in fact very easy for you to go ahead and create a brand. So my simple advice is that if it is the easiest for you, that since you already have a brand thanks to the kind of school you were in, and if creating a very strong personal brand is actually very easy for you, why you should not create it? You definitely should not create it, because it can give you all of these outcomes which I have specified. Hence, for you, personal branding is more about self-actualization and how you can really increase your potential and reach the ends of it. Now, for the students who are in this kind of a category, the students who are here in the tier 2 and 3 kind of schools, why is personal branding important for you? A very simple thing for you is that it helps you open up, it helps you give much more options in terms of what outcomes you get, options in outcomes from MBA. And this is very important, that probably the kind of school you are in, you have some good on-campus offers which you have, but probably you are a student who aspire to be at a top tier school, and hence your aspirations were to find some of the on-campus placements which do not even appear at your school. Hence, for you, creating a personal brand is about how you can find the most interesting outcome for you, because probably while the placements at your school are good, you might be interested to explore more. So for you, creating a personal brand, I would say, in fact, is a much more immediate need, because it opens up outcomes for yourself, so that just after your MBA, you can choose that, okay, whether it makes sense for me to go for this on-campus placement, or thanks to the brand which I have created for myself, I can scout for certain off-campus placements as well, and those are the options which I should have. For example, when I was in the first year of my MBA at IIM Udaipur, I had started my blog Super Heuristics. Now, because I started that blog, it completely transformed my entire life. I was someone who used to stammer in my first year. I had a very bad speech issue. But because I started a side hustle, because I started a blog which helped me build my personal brand, by the end of my MBA, even when the placements had not started, thanks to that personal brand of mine, I already had 3 job offers when my placements had not even started. So now, when I was exiting my MBA, I was much happier. The reason for that is that I had the option to choose that whether I should go for an on-campus, or if I have other options in off-campus, then I can go for all of that. And after working in that job for about an year, thanks to the fact that my personal brand had grown to an extent that I had started to earn a lot from it, I could even quit my job and work on it full time. So for somebody who's of your B school type, probably creating a personal brand is a much more immediate requirement for you, because it directly impacts the kind of quality of job which you will have. That is important. And now from there, allow me to talk to you about the third kind of the students, that apart from these first 2 kind, students which are in the tier 4, 5, 6 B schools, why is personal branding important for you? And here is my very simple answer to you, and this is very serious. In fact, I would say that for you, if you're somebody who's very ambitious, and I'm sure that you are, personal branding is about survival. I'll be absolutely honest to you about this, that if you are in the category number 3, then personal branding for you is about survival. Personal branding for you is about having your voice heard, because probably the sad reality is that because of the kind of school you are in, right now you might not even have a voice, you might not have a brand of your own, and your B school is not helping you either. Hence, what you will experience probably is that when you go out to a job, when you go out in the industry, while you may have the same amount of skills as the ones from these two schools, you will still be ranked and placed much below than the students of those schools. It could be in terms of the job role, it could be in terms of the designation as well. Hence, for you to find that kind of parity so that you can at least be seen as equals in this very strange environment where just for the fact that your B school is not branded enough, you will face issues. And personal branding is one way that not only it will give you parity, but in fact I would say that it will lead to a solid differentiation, and you can zoom past ahead of anyone else. You can zoom past ahead of anyone else, because if you are in a school wherein the placements are not amazing at all, then probably starting a side hustle or building a strong personal brand for you, which can help you find off campus placements, which can help you find freelancing assignments, or which can eventually help you build a startup of your own, that is about survival now. Hence, from these three things which I have explained to you, I hope you have understood that why personal branding is important for you. For somebody who's here, personal branding is more about self actualization, that how, while you have achieved a lot of things, how do you further spread the word about it, and how you can achieve the higher levels of your potential. Whereas for the third kind, it is more about survival, which I've explained to you. Now, if you're somebody who's really excited to know about it, how do you build a personal brand for yourself, allow me to inform you that I have an entire community of MBA students to whom every week I help them understand that how do you build a personal brand for yourself through various unique ways through which I was able to do. My community has a lot of courses as well, all of which will be completely available to you for you to get the best outcomes from your MBA. So, with that, I will take your leave and I'll see you in the next one, wherein I'll be explaining you something else about your MBA journey. Thanks a lot and goodbye.